So the Amazonians sent me a box of goodness. Where do they pack these things up? Look like they might be something nefarious, but they're not. Let me get them open and I'll show you what's in there. So there it is, all unpacked, 5 boxes. Looks like something you get jewelry in. Maybe it's better for a guy anyway for this, but same stuff I used for those backup lamps, LUYED. And there we go, all the other bulbs that I need. Just take my Suburban's marker lights, turn signal lights, all of them full LED. I like about these ones. Yeah, they have this, someone probably knows the exact technical designation of these, but they have the projector on the end of them. Let me pull them out of the bag. Like I said, there's probably a real designation for this, but you got a projector with a bunch of LED chips inside there, and the perimeter is surrounded by all these LED chips. These are the amber front marker lights, which I'll tear that apart. Of course, if you have one of these Chevy trucks, that's about as simple as you can get to those lights. We'll put them in and we'll see exactly what it looks like. Yeah, so hang tight. So here's the driver's side out. And look, the old bulb. So it has remnants of dielectric grease from factory maybe, I don't know. I'm definitely going to replace it. I like getting several of these tubes of silicone grease anytime I'm doing electrical. And these just simply go in these sockets that then insert and snap tight into the blinker housing over there. So I'll show you that in a minute when I got them in. I don't know if you can see that on film, but boy is that a lot brighter. And obviously if you've done LED lights, you know they're actually polarity sensitive, so when I'm changing them out, right, wrong, or indifferent, I actually leave the marker lights on so I can tell if I got the polarity correct. And this one I got it first try. But yeah, look at that. That's way brighter than just the simple incandescent. Let's get the other one in. Now here you go with the side marker lights, the 194 bulbs. And this one looks totally electronic and chipped. It's got 6 side LEDs and 3 front LEDs. It's supposed to be something like 400 lumens total. Yeah, I'll get it in and show what all 3 of them look like. Wait for these bulbs all this time, and come to find out, it's not gonna fit. It's way too long. When we put it in there, it's maybe about a 1/4 inch too long, so it doesn't fit. I'm gonna have to go back and get a different time. The kind I have in my S10 were more about the same. They were simple 4 LEDs contained in glass that were about the same depth as one of those standard incandescent 194s, but it's like these ones are going back. Or, I don't know, I'll just save them around for something else someday else. Who knows? But it doesn't fit. You've got to find a new solution. So there we go, fully installed. Very bright, even in the daytime. And looks like I put that on prematurely. One of my corners is fritzing. I'll have to look at that. Well, both of them aren't working. That's weird. I'll have to pull them back apart and check it out. I don't know. I did notice when I was putting them in, none of these ones have the same deal. But the base that would have been like these actually can separate if you put too much force on it. If you're grabbing by the LEDs, the portion, if you're grabbing by this portion, I'd say grab by the brass base that comes on that style connector. I might put it back together, but it doesn't make me that happy. I don't know. I may end up having to buy another set down the road. Let me shut this off and figure out why my corners are off. So this is curious. Maybe someone that knows more about LEDs than I do can figure this out. You notice that it dims when you pull those incandescents out. It brightens back up when you put them in, but the incandescents aren't lighting. Maybe that's not going to get solved until I actually get LEDs for these corners. Someone smarter with electricity than I am can tell me why that is and what's going on with this stuff, but yeah, for now I'm just going to put it back together and move on to the tail of the truck. To me it seems as if these bulbs make it as bright as some fog lamps I've had on my trucks before, which I like, but I'm wondering given the electrical, most people when they install these, you put resistors on one of these ones for the flashers and stuff. Is that the reason? Because there's not enough resistance through the circuit that this corner light isn't working. Theory. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. But I'm guessing if I go and put LED bulbs in there, they'll be back on. And I'll do that when I get some that actually fit. Pay more attention to the length of them. But to solve hyper flash like everybody worries about, just went and got on the zone and got myself an EP29. Is that gonna come on, camera, focus? But EP29s are the LED flashers, and that should solve it. That's what I did with my S10 when I switched it all over to LEDs. So we'll see if that works here too. Again, I'm gonna go back to the back of the truck and get those bulbs in, and then we'll play around with the flasher after that. So once again, I use the circuit board, plug it back in to the loom or to the harness, and then make sure I've actually got my LEDs in correctly for polarity so that they do shine. Now you see I've got all three. Backup one on the back not lit, but then the two reds are lit, and boy are they fantastically bright. Can't wait to see what these look like at night. So when I bought the truck, the lights were actually all kinds of hash. The plastic is obviously looked 20 years old, so I got these nice new ones off Amazon from Eagle Eyes. The frustrating thing for me, I don't remember if that came with my original truck or not, but these bolts are 1/4 inch bolts, whereas the bolts that actually hold it in here and here, they're 7mm. Nothing more irritating than a mix of metric and SAE on a truck, but that's kind of the way it is in the 90s. Someone else I was watching, 3D Machines maybe, talking about how he wanted everything to go metric. I totally agree. Everything needs to be metric. So funny thing about these Eagle Eyes, you notice this one, everything is chromed. The other one was just the inside was chromed. But, you know, Taiwanese parts, that's what they give you. I'm not afraid of Taiwanese parts. I find them to be just as good as anything else I can get here in the States. And off of Amazon, I think I paid a fraction of what I would have here from the dealership for sure, and a fraction of what it would have been from the parts store. I'll post a screenshot of that at the end of this video. Go back and look exactly what I paid for these, but yeah, it definitely freshens up the look of the truck to get a new set of glass on it. With this side, it's a good thing I did plug in the circuit board because I had both bulbs in backwards. So flip them around and boom, I'm in business again. Yeah, let's get it all buttoned up and I'll show you what it all looks like. So this whole adventure has ended in partial failure. So trying to see if you can take the poor man's route and just use LED bulbs to replace your bulbs and see what happens. Well, yeah, you look at the comparison now, this is definitely brighter in the daytime, but because of the vagaries of electronics, side markers don't come on when you're just in marker mode. So watch this. Notice when in flasher mode, the side markers are flashing like they're supposed to. So they'll work for turn signals, but not really for markers. That's as good as the front gets if you're just using these LED bulbs. The back is a whole nother story. If you're looking close enough, you realize on the back I put the incandescents back in. Once I got them totally in, they just plain were not working. Flasher wouldn't flash, turn signals wouldn't flash. Brake pedal worked somewhat, but the whole thing didn't work, and I have to think it has to do with those circuit boards that are in those taillight housings. So if you're looking at just replacing the LED bulbs for the rear of your truck like this, don't bother, because if you get that circuit board, somehow that interferes with it and doesn't let it work. So you kind of have to go the expensive route and get yourself a full-on LED taillight housing. At least that's what it seems to me. Here's another irritation that comes up with this, and I had this happen with my S10 as well. You notice with the lights on, then you've got the green indicator lights glowing as well. And this happened when I switched my S10 over to LEDs. And I solved it by actually having to rewire the whole thing. So if you're considering whether or not to play this game, I'd probably advise against it. I don't know if I'm going to leave these orange LEDs in, but I'm definitely going to return all the red LEDs and figure out what I want to do. I'll play with it for a while, see whether or not these amber ones go home back to China or not. and whether or not I actually want to spend the money it takes to get the full LED turn signal kits that, well, a couple under $100 for the kit. Not sure I want to spend that. I was hoping this would work better than it has. Well, till the next project. So while all the marker and turn signal bulbs were something of a failure, maybe these won't be. I just got in the mail a set of these. Golly, focus camera. But H3 bulbs. Excuse my hand. Just simple replacement H3 bulbs. Now I got them, I'm wondering, is there enough depth in there for them? Pretty big LED chips for them. Basic H3 base plate and wire. That'll end up down in there. Looks like it might have enough depth for them. That's how bright those things look in the daylight. I'll turn them on at night tonight and we'll see how bright they look at night, and then I'll do the install sometime on Monday probably, and show day and night comparisons with the LEDs. Here's how bright they are at night. Just this little blazer under the bumper fog lights. Pivot around, see what kind of light they throw on the road. Also gives you a sound of how noisy the fans are or aren't. This camera sucks. So, I don't know, you can see that or not, but yeah, it doesn't show up well. With curiosity, turn on those blazer light bars. That's their light. Regular headlights, blazers. Yeah, that's the kind of light I'm working with. So talk about getting what you pay for. You can tell this thing is not well sealed from the weather. Look at all that crud that's gotten in there. I might want to do something different with that. That leaves bare metal. I don't like that. I was thinking these bulbs don't. But yeah, this thing's way dirty inside there. Granted, I always expect them to be a sacrificial light anyway, because they're below the bumper. In case I hit something off-road, then they're not hard to replace. Or rocks or whatever else might hit them. But yeah, give you a little idea of what those blazer lights are and are not. And they are not sealed. But yeah, let's get to putting some LEDs in. Well, first off, you can see this one's a lot cleaner because yes, I did break this side once. And so this is a replacement light on this side already. But here's something interesting. I noticed on the Amazon reviews a lot of people talked about orienting so the flash chips would go a certain way. In this application, they only fit one way. Though I do like, with these bulbs, you get a nice plastic cover on your power wire versus this straight H3 one that does not. But you look, this will only fit this way. It won't turn the other way, so you can only orient it that way. That's what you get. So I hope it gives me the light pattern I need. Well, we shall find out. Again, you get what you pay for. Tightening that screw down, it pulled the plastic part straight through. I'm trying to remember where I left the other lights for this. I probably have another one of these grills for it. Which the grill is what holds that whole light in place. Till then, maybe I just get a washer and put it on. We'll see, but yeah. Don't expect much out of Blazer A leader in the lighting industry. Not the leader, but A leader. A leader because they're cheap and everybody buys them, so they sell tons of them. But yeah, when you're looking for something sacrificial, that's kind of what you're looking at. Talk about defective. It didn't do it with just one of them, it did it with both of them. So a couple of deck screws and a pair of washers and it's in. Yeah, I'll put this under the tab of if it's stupid but works, it ain't that stupid. Murphy's Laws of War. But yeah, let's turn these things on, see what they look like. So they're there in the daytime. They seem pretty freaking bright. Obviously I picked amber. When you're up in the canyons and it's foggy, you want to see amber. And it helps you cut through the fog a lot better. We'll see what they look like at nighttime, what kind of spread pattern I'm getting, if the direction the chips is facing even matters at all. But But yeah, that kind of concludes the entire LED light bulb experiment. Yeah, some parts failed, some parts not, but these amber lights should be what I want. I prefer amber in the fog. Till the next project. Here's the light output of those fog lights at night. It's not too bad for fog lights, about where I need it to be, I think. You don't want overpowering, which is also why I went that route, because you get the light bars in amber and they're just too much light for foggy conditions. This would probably be perfect. We'll get the front view on them. They do have a nice golden color. Yeah, so that concludes the experiment with LED lights for now anyway. Till the next project. Thanks for watching.